Well, our political editor Darren McCaffrey is at the Parliament in Strasbourg and he joins us now. Darren, this is the first parliamentary session for many new MEPs, as well as for the new Parliament, of course. How's the face of this Parliament changed?
Yeah, hundreds of new MEPs taking their seats this morning, along those that have been here, some of them for many years. And you know what, they are looking at a slightly more fragmented parliament to some regard. We have to remember that the EPP and the S&D, the centre-right and the centre-left parties, have essentially lost their majorities. And as we're seeing in Brussels, decision-making in the EU, already difficult, is only likely to get more difficult. But they have got a big decision to make over the next 24 hours or so, and that is to elect a new Parliament president. Nominations have now opened. They will remain open until 10 o'clock tonight, and then MEPs will begin voting tomorrow. Now, who will they choose? Well, in most part, that again will be decided upon what happens in Brussels amongst those EU council leaders who are currently meeting. Anyway, let's focus on that and many more with a man who has been here for an awfully long time, Nigel Farage, MEP, who is leader of the Brexit Party. Welcome, Mr. Farage.
Thank you.
First of all, let's reflect on what happened this morning in the chamber and your party deciding to turn its backs on Ode to Joy. Why was that? What was the thought process behind that?
Well, they struck up with the anthem and we sat, and the President of the Parliament, the Italian Tajani, said it is polite to stand for the anthem of other nations. So the cat's out of the bag, isn't it? He's calling it a nation. So we did what we were told and we stood, but we turned our backs. And I'll tell you why. Not just because we reject the concept of a nation called the European Union, but because nobody else in the whole of the rest of Europe has ever been asked whether that is what they want.
Is it disrespectful? I mean, ultimately, you know,
is it disrespectful?
It is a democratic institution.
Is it disrespectful to take the ancient nation states of Europe and without asking anybody turn this place, which started off as a free trade club, or supposedly a free trade club, into a nation? It's very disrespectful indeed.
It is the anthem of the European Parliament, though. It is a democratic body. You were elected, like all 751 MEPs. But is it not disrespectful to those voters?
I'm not showing respect for foreign anthems that have been imposed upon us. And I know we didn't shout, we didn't scream, we didn't wear clothes with rude words written all over them. We just very quietly obeyed the instruction to stand and turned and faced the other way.
Okay. Moving on to Brexit. It is a new Parliament, but the old issues still remain. You hoped you wouldn't be here. Do you still think you'll be here on November 1st?
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, you know, Theresa May told us 108 times we were leaving. On March the 29th, we didn't. We now have Boris Johnson telling us it's, you know, do or die. We're leaving on the 31st of October. And suddenly, hard man Hunt, Jeremy telling us he's going to give this lot until the end of September, and if not, prepare to leave with no deal. Look, they are trying to get elected. They are trying to become Prime Minister. Will they deliver? I doubt it. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. The one thing that may get us out on Halloween is that I think both of them are beginning to understand that the threat of the Brexit Party is for them existential. So there is a chance that we'll get out, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Two other questions. First of all, one is on this investigation. Talk about you being barred from Parliament. Is it terribly clear that that money wasn't properly declared?
Number one, the sums of money being talked about are absolutely ludicrous and bear no relation to truth whatsoever. But secondly, more importantly, significantly, you are supposed to declare things if they are in line with your work as a member of the European Parliament. The fact that I had somewhere to stay in London when it suited me, the fact that we all went off for a little mini holiday to the convention in Cleveland bears no relation to my job as an MEP whatsoever. And some of the ludicrous things being said by members of this so-called committee, that I should be investigated, etc. There's not a penny of public money involved in any of this.
What happens, though, if they find you guilty?
They will not find me guilty. And to be honest with you, I went and met President Tajani yesterday, who, of all the presidents I've seen in this Parliament, has been the toughest on anybody who stepped out of line financially. He is entirely happy with my situation.
And just very, very finally, you haven't formed a group or haven't been able to form a group. Why not? And that's pretty damaging in terms of the access that you have to funds and indeed speaking time in this Parliament.
Well, there you are. You see, we're not money mad, as you tried to suggest a moment ago. Look, I tell you what, Great Britain has stood alone for centuries. We'll be just fine here with 29 of us. Hopefully, we'll be gone by the 31st of October. If we're not, we'll reconsider that position.
Nigel Farage, thank you very much indeed for joining us. There you go. Nigel Farage, a British MEP, leader of the Brexit Party, making that stand clearly in the Parliament today, turning the backs on that anthem. Many see it as childish, immature, disrespectful. Him making the case that he thought it was a nation-state anthem, and that he doesn't regard Europe as a nation-state. As I said, it's a new Parliament, totes, but very much that old issue of Brexit continuing to rear its head.